Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be breaking down The Valley Season 2, Episode 5. This is officially the best show on reality TV right now. It is appointment television. It's so good. Let's get into it. I just wanted to say that up top because seriously, this is the best thing reality TV has right now. It's the next morning in Santa Barbara. Jesse, Kristen, and Luke are up, and Jesse is already pouring himself a fat glass of champagne. He's pouring himself champagne in a stemless wine glass, not even a champagne flute. He's filling it halfway to the top, and it's 10 a.m. People are still in bed. People are in their pajamas. In the confessional, he says he was hoping he and Michelle could just leave everything at the front door and just coexist together, but she's being really cold to him. You literally told people that she sleeps with a billionaire for money. What did you think was gonna happen this weekend? This is why, this is just another piece of evidence to prove that he is not over her. He wants to get back together with her. I feel like a part of him actually thought that they might be able to rekindle something this weekend and have sex in the house. Brittany and Zach are in bed together. They're co-sleeping, and Brittany says that Jax is already texting her.
He said, I have to tell you, they figured out I'm bipolar, not depressed.
If he is actually diagnosed bipolar, and they really said that, because again, we never know if he's lying or not.
Yeah.
He needs to be on medication. He needs to, and that is regimented. He cannot miss it. He has to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Zach pointed out that we don't even know if we can believe Jax. I'm very happy that he seems to also be a Jax hater, which is good. I feel like Brittany needs somebody in her life to remind her that she doesn't have to believe every single thing that Jax says. In the confessional, Zach says that Brittany's been trauma trained, and he says that Jax has been emotionally abusing her. I'm so glad that somebody is finally acknowledging it and calling it abuse. I feel like this is the first time we've heard anybody besides Brittany say that word about Jax, and I'm just so glad that it's finally being acknowledged by her friends. It's not just that he's being mean to her or that he's being scary or irrational. He's being abusive. They all get in a party bus to go wine tasting. Jesse is already drunk. He's already drunk. I feel like we've been talking about Danny having an alcohol problem, but nobody has really brought up the fact that Jesse seems like a high-functioning alcoholic. It's 10, 11 a.m. and he's already drunk. He's probably already had half a bottle of champagne. He's all over Kristen and Luke on the bus. He's twerking. Brittany calls out how much he's had to drink this morning. She clocked it. Everybody's just kind of sitting quietly on this ride, and Jesse's trying to turn it into a party. He's dancing and grinding on everyone. He's trying to be charming. He's trying to win people over. He knows that it was bad that he said that Michelle sleeps with a billionaire for money. He knows that he's losing the women. He had that fight with Janet yesterday at the RC car thing. He's trying to win everyone over. He wants to be loved. I've said this about him before. He needs to be loved. He cannot deal with rejection. The bus pulls over because the engine started smoking, and Luke immediately goes to investigate one of those Home Depot dads. You know that meme that you see on TikTok all the time? I was hearing the music in my head. None of the other guys get out of the bus. It's only him. Jesse is so drunk. He gets out. He starts putting the hitchhiking thumb up, and he tries to get people to walk the rest of the way. And the bus driver's you cannot walk the rest of the way. It's 20 miles. Which is also so crazy. It makes me wonder where they're going. Santa Barbara, you're already pretty much in wine country. You're going to a winery 20 miles away. I mean, isn't that practically halfway to San Luis Obispo at this point? I don't know geography. Please don't look that up. I don't even forget that I said that. Michelle is so glad that everyone's finally seeing how obnoxious Jesse is. To me, if I was somebody in this bus watching Jesse twerk all over everyone and be so loud at 11 a.m., I would also be pissed. And yeah, Michelle is just really happy that everybody else finally gets a dose of what she has had to deal with for the last several years. Everyone's been chilling in the van while Luke and the driver are outside diagnosing the problem. And while everybody is kind of having their side conversations, Nia is talking to Danny on the phone, and we hear her say, okay, I need you to stop by the house for multiple reasons. And then she goes, no, you do not say that. Listen to your wife first, please. She totally immediately snaps at him. Everybody is gagged. And the switch that happened with her when she gets caught, she goes, listen to your wife first, please. And then she sees everyone looking at her and she goes, oh, sorry. And she immediately like turns on that like pageant, humble girl kind of look. And she goes, oh my God, like she's acting so embarrassed. Nobody really cares that much. Brittany kind of thinks it's like hot. Like, it was just so interesting. I feel like we really caught a glimpse of that marriage behind closed doors. This whole episode, really, I think the main takeaway, besides Jesse and Michelle's big fights, you really just overall get a deeper glimpse into Danny and Nia's marriage. And it just really highlights how Nia is just that pageant girl who follows her training and has to pretend like everything is okay all the time. You really kind of see cracks in the facade, and this was one of the first moments where you see that in this episode. They go to a gas station and they take like 3 Uber Blacks to the winery, so all's well that ends well. They start drinking, so they're already probably like 2 or 3 glasses in when Danny shows up, and he immediately starts being so obnoxious at the table and like pounding glasses of wine. He's like gargling the wine. It's so disgusting. And Nia is again trying to like be like smile and be like, oh, ha ha ha. She tries to stop him after he chugs like his 3rd glass, and she's like, okay, you're all caught up. And Danny's like not having it. He's still chugging. Janet tells Zach that when they were fighting and people asked her about his hair, she would tell them it was a wig. That was so funny. I like didn't clock that there was discourse around Zach's hair. I never assumed it was a wig, but now that she said that, I'm like looking at Zach's hair more closely. I'm like, am I supposed to think it's a wig? I have very bad wig detection skills, but that was just really funny. Zach is so happy that she's like joking around with him. The nanny calls Michelle and she and Jesse step away. And then after Michelle's done talking to the nanny and she talks to Isabella for a second, he goes, we need to have a serious conversation. And they're sitting at this table and he goes, are you happy? And she's like, I am happy with everything else except you. If you weren't in the picture, I would be completely happy. And then he goes, well, if you're so happy, then why can't you be happy for me in my relationship? Which is so weird, because didn't he say literally, like, I think it was yesterday to Janet or last week to somebody else, didn't he say that he and that girl aren't together anymore? So I was so confused when he said that. But then Michelle says that she'll never be okay with somebody who threatens her, because you know that girl is always threatening to sue her. And it gets so heated. She like gets up, starts yelling. She goes, look at you. You're a disaster. Look at you. And then he goes, oh, well, you're a hooker, so it's fine. Whoa. Jesse sucks, dude. Jesse sucks. What is wrong with you? It's like 1 second you're saying, no, I don't have any proof of that. It was wrong for me to call her a hooker and insinuate that she sleeps with people for money. And then the second he gets even a little bit pissed off, he's going straight back to like, oh, well, you're a hooker, so he sucks. He sucks. Janet is right. If I was married to this man, I would be cheating on him too. And Michelle storms off and starts screaming at him. Rightfully so. I would be doing the same thing. She goes, you can't do that. I'm the mother of your fucking child. And then she starts going off. She goes, you're a loser. You spend all of our money. The other girls have to come over and pull her away. Here's the issue is that like, if I was Michelle, I would feel the exact same way. I would also want to be yelling and screaming at Jesse. Like, I get it. The problem is this is the exact reaction that Jesse wants. Jesse wants to get a rise out of her like this. I think all of this gets him off. I think he loves just pissing Michelle off and trying to make her as miserable as he so clearly is, even though he won't admit it. And I don't know why Michelle keeps falling for the bait. I wish she would stop. I think it's almost similar to Jax. The best way to deal with this type of man is to ignore him completely and ice him out when he does stuff like this. Like, it's complicated because they have a kid. She obviously can't just stop talking to him. But when they start having these types of arguments, when it's just yelling and screaming and irrationality, you need to just stay calm and walk away. Don't give them the big reaction that they're clearly trying to get out of you. So then the girls pull Michelle away and she comes back to Jesse and she's like, our friend and client sent us a wedding gift and money for Isabella's birthday. That's, I guess, the billionaire that Jesse is talking about. And then she says that Jesse gets transfers too, like money transfers. And then she goes, why is a gay guy sending you money on your birthday? And everybody's kind of like gagged. Everybody's like, oh, what? And then Jesse's like, well, what, a gay guy can't send me money? Like, just because a gay guy sends me money, it means I'm sleeping with him. Then Zach and Jasmine are in the back over at the table. They're like, hold on, what's going on? Zach in the confessional is like, please do not give him to us, girl. We don't want him. It's a shit show. The whole thing is kind of a shit show. Brittany tells Jesse that he needs to apologize for calling Michelle a hooker. And then he goes, of course it's a lie, and I'm an asshole for saying that. But he's saying it in like a bitchy tone. It's not a real apology. He goes, well, of course it's a lie, and I'm an asshole for saying that. Like, what? He is so insufferable. He makes me mad just watching him. I can't imagine having to deal with that man for the rest of my life. So then everybody goes back to the house, and Janet in the confessional says that when they got to the house, she was in the pantry and Danny came in and starts like hunching over, chugging tequila.
I didn't know Janet was in there and had no means of making her feel uncomfortable. I was going to get a White Claw because that's where the fridge was that had the White Claws in it.
As I'm like turning around, he has like a hidden bottle of tequila in the pantry and is like chugging it, like a decent amount. Like, I'd be on the floor after that.
Yeah, Danny has a serious problem. And it's something that clearly all the guys know because they talked about it. Jason and Jesse talked about it before going over. But secretly drinking, like when you have to like drink in closets and when you have to like hunch over and hide the bottle from people, like he's in deep. That's like really scary. Like that guy, there's a dark energy coming from Danny and Nia. Their marriage is so scary to me. It's like deeply, deeply Christian. So like, you know, they'll never get divorced. And nobody can admit that anything is wrong ever. And you have like secret alcoholism and just dark, really, really dark energy coming from those two. Then Michelle and Jesse go outside and try to have another conversation on the patio. And he asks her why she isn't happy for him again. And she goes, why are you so obsessed with this girl? We have a child. And in the confessional, she basically says exactly what I would have said. She goes, he wants me to acknowledge how happy he is so he can believe that he's happy. Because it's like, who cares? Why do you need your ex-wife to be like, oh yeah, you do look really happy with your new girlfriend who's 20 years younger than you and lives in Orange County and cheated on you with a guy from Baywatch? It's like, why do you need that from your ex-wife? Like, he's still hung up on her and he is miserable. And then Michelle is upset that the girlfriend is so involved in Isabella's life. She says that Isabella calls her second mommy. That was shocking. That I could not believe. That is so unhealthy and so just like this whole situation is so potentially damaging to Isabella. Like, this girl, how long has Jesse even been dating this girl? Less than a year, and Isabella's calling her second mommy, and like, that's dark. I'm scared for that little girl. That's like, ugh. And then Jesse says she's spending 5 days a week with Isabella, and Michelle is like, well, she shouldn't be because it's gonna harm her when you two break up. And Michelle's like, when you two break up? She goes, this will end. This is the kind of situation where like, this is why Michelle is threatening to take him to court, because he's bringing these strange women around her daughter, and he's got her daughter calling them her second mommy. Like, that's crazy. That is so, so sad. Then Jesse in the confessional is saying that Michelle is trying to paint him as a liar when she's the liar and the cheater. And then he keeps asking her if she did or didn't cheat until finally she just throws a glass of whiskey in his face. I agree with Laura and Carrie from Sexy Unique podcast. I think both of them are getting off on this a little bit, because why are you both subjecting yourselves to this? This is every time you see each other, this is what happens. Like, there has to be a part of you that enjoys this, because Jesse is always initiating it, always. He knows what's gonna happen. This has happened like 6 times now. And then Michelle is always taking the bait. So like there has to be a part of both of you that's getting off on this. And like this arguing and the crying and stuff, it's like it's turning you on. Isn't that what masochism is? I feel like Jesse especially is such a masochist. Then Michelle goes to the stairs and starts yelling like a town crier.
My husband spent all of our money. You want me to scream to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. My husband refused to hug me and kiss me and tell me I'm pretty.
In the after show, I think it was Janet who said that when Michelle was pregnant, she saw texts from Jesse in the boys chat where he was calling her fat. So now we have Jax and Jesse on record calling these pregnant women fat. That literally, these types of shows make me scared for marriage. I'm like, I know these people are like special, like not everybody is like this, but it paints such a bleak image of marriage. Like this show would be a great advertisement for staying single for the rest of your life, because this is hell. All of these people live in hell. Now it's dead silent. Danny is blackout, drunk, passed out on the bed. It's time for dinner. Nia tries to wake him up and he isn't even stirring. Like she's not even getting into his like brain a little bit. And it's, again, this is so dark. She's obviously, it's only the two of them in the room, but she's obviously so aware of the cameras. And she's like, oh, ha, ha, like, seems like you're a little sleepy. Like, I'll just let you sleep. Oh my God, like, you're so sleepy. And it's like, who are you talking to? Like, she's talking to us in that moment because he is out cold and she's pretending like she's having a conversation with him. He cannot hear you. He's blackout drunk. Everyone's at dinner in the backyard. Janet tells everybody that she saw Danny chugging tequila in the pantry. Jax is texting Brittany again, and Nia and Kristen tell her she needs to put her phone away and that it's manipulation. That's great. That makes me, it's like everybody is finally being like, just ignore this man. He's manipulating you. He fucking sucks. And it's like, now that I know that Jesse was also calling his wife fat when she was pregnant, it makes me understand why he is like the top Jax defender. It's like, you guys are one and the same. Like there is a universe where Jesse ends up the way that Jax ends up. You know what I mean? Like he's just a little more polished and put together as Jax, but that doesn't mean that he isn't also like horrible to women. Nia she like gets up to start to go inside and Zach is like, where are you going? And she goes, oh, it's so cold. I'm just gonna turn on the sauna and I'm just gonna sit in the sauna for a few minutes. That's like, I mean, that's like such a horrible excuse. It's like anyone could immediately clock that she's lying. And then she invites Michelle to go inside with her. So they go to check on Danny while the entire table starts gossiping about him. And then Danny finally wakes up. It looks like, I'm pretty sure when he was asleep earlier, it was still light outside. He's probably been asleep for like 3-4 hours. He says that he's catching up on 3 years of sleep and he's mad at her because he says that she didn't try to come get him. And she's like trying so hard to be like smiley and playing it off. She goes, oh, haha, like I did try to come get you. The table wishes that Nia would just acknowledge that he blacked out instead of trying to be a pageant queen about it. But Kristen and Luke are like trying so hard to defend Danny. And Brittany and Jasmine are not having it. And Brittany says that it's not fair that her relationship with Jax is out in the open for Kristen and Luke to comment on, but she can't talk about Danny blacking out. Which is like, okay, but also you were pretending like things were perfect between you and Jax for like a decade. So it's like, don't pretend like you've always been open and honest about your relationship. The only reason we know about all this stuff going on in your relationship now is because it's finally hit like this scary breaking point. But like for years when you were on Vanderpump Rules, you were just pretending like everything is perfect. So, and they like get into an argument about this. Like everybody else at the table, Jasmine like gets up and she wants Kristen to just say that he's drunk, and Kristen is like, why should I care that Danny got drunk? She's like, all of you are making a big deal for no reason. And it's like, well, yeah, of course Kristen doesn't think that blacking out is a big deal. She was blacking out like every weekend for 20 years. We saw it on Vanderpump Rules. Like for her, it's like she's been passed out on a bed, blacked out so many times. She's like, I don't get why it's a problem. So then Zach knows what's coming. He goes upstairs and he just kind of warns Nia. He's like, just so you know, everybody's talking about Danny blacking out and everybody thinks that you pretend like your relationship is perfect when it's not. And Brittany's like, well, who's saying that? Jasmine? Like she's immediately trying to suss out who's got her figured out. And then Brittany, Jasmine, and Janet all come in and Brittany starts crying and she's like, oh, my husband is in rehab, but I'm not allowed to say that Danny's drunk just for one night. They start going crazy. They all start fighting. Jesse says that he and Michelle are the most sane people in the house right now. And then the episode just ends like that. It ends on a to be continued with no preview for the next episode. That was such a great episode of television. I'm sorry. See, this show, it can be good without Jax. We don't need Jax in this show. Like, even with just these absolutely insane people, such a great episode of television. I think Nia and Danny we're gonna explore their marriage more. Danny was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy was kind of trying to pry him for like questions about him and Nia and like this whole situation in this episode, and Danny was not divulging anything. Like clearly Nia told him to be really tight-lipped about everything. She just can't stand for other people to know that her life isn't perfect. And here's the thing, that's gonna bite them in the ass. Like Andy was clearly over it on Watch What Happens Live when Danny wouldn't give him any straight answers. He was over it. If they keep up with this, whole like, oh no, our lives are perfect, everything is perfect, don't worry, haha, everything is good, they're gonna get axed from the show. You can't be on a reality show. It's like fucking Kyle Richards. Like you can't be on a reality show and refuse to talk about your life. Like you don't just get to talk about the good stuff. You have to talk about the bad stuff. It's your job. So yeah, we'll see what next week brings with this trip from hell to Santa Barbara. I'm really, really excited. It was another great episode. I'm literally praying for Michelle to just get the most money she can out of this divorce, even though apparently Jesse has no money. Like, I just want them to end this as quickly as possible so she never has to talk to that man without a lawyer ever again. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be uploading my recap of last week's episode of Summer House in the coming days. And then also I'm going to be recapping the premiere of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So both of those are also going up this week. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.